If you know they use three cameras, clear. That slogan of the hyphen baddies wasn't used by them anymore. Everywhere they went to, it was used by their neighbors. Anytime they meet on their way, they tease and mock the iPhone baddies, asking them of where their iPhone are. Clear if you don't have iPhones, classless ladies. And how is the maggots down there? You stink so much, smell us. The humiliation was too much for the iPhone ladies. They couldn't take it. They wondered how their neighbors got to know that maggots comes out of their VJJ. They suspected their neighbors eavesdropped on them. The iPhone baddies started regretting their actions. They blamed themselves for obsessing over iPhones. Their iPhone 18 Pro Max was gone, and now they are using an iPhone 6. Every time they went out to buy a perfume to reduce the odor from the maggots coming out of their VJJ, they hid their iPhone 6 because they weren't proud of it. They were ashamed of it. The baddies didn't know what to do. They cried themselves to sleep. They suddenly turned prayer warriors. They prayed and prayed for a miracle. After a few months of their maggot predicament, the iPhone baddies started losing so much weight rapidly. They started getting skinny. They were so scared. They started going from church to church, begging pastors to save them. They got scammed most times until they got to a Pastor Jerry's church, and things turned around for them. He prayed for them, turned things around for them, and gave them a stern warning never to return to their previous lifestyle. And they obeyed, but till when? The fake lifestyle was already a part of them. For 1 year, they stayed in the church premises. They didn't go back to their old lifestyle until one day. Favy went out to buy food. She entered the restaurant and bought food. She was on her way out when she bumped into someone. She didn't look at the person. She just said sorry and was about to go out of the restaurant. But the person shouted, "Favy of the iPhone baddies. I knew it. It is you. What are you doing here?" Favy was confused as she doesn't recognize the lady. But the person knew she's a part of the iPhone baddies. She tried to avoid the person, but she didn't let her go. The lady shouted, "Don't you remember me? We both attended the same school in the village. I approached you and your friends. I begged to become one of you. But you guys just embarrassed me in front of the whole school just because I was using an iPhone 7 then. But look at my phone. Oh, what God cannot do does not exist. I am using the latest iPhone 20 Pro Max, and I even have the latest Samsung series. Can you see?" She pointed her phones to Favy's face, mocking her. Favy couldn't talk. She was so pained, she felt like crying, but she faked a smile. "Oh, I'm happy for you, girl," Favy said. "Oh, and yes, I have a car now," Nancy said. "It's a Benz." Favy walked out of her, and she shouted behind her saying, "You forgot to show me your phone, or you don't sell am use am chop." Favy cried on her way home that day. When she got home, she couldn't eat the food she bought. She kept thinking of how humiliated she was. Her friends asked her what the issue is, and she told them everything that happened. Jenzy smiled, telling her not to overthink it. But Susie was so pained. She shouted, saying, "How dare her? If no be condition wey make crayfish bend, how dare her look down on us like this? I can't take this humiliation anymore. I can't keep living like this. Don't you girls miss how respected we used to be? No one dared to talk to us rudely. We, the iPhone baddies, look at how people stare at us and laugh at us. Before, they couldn't even look us in the eyes. Oh, I can't take this anymore." Favy and Susie were really pained about the situation. However, Jenzy wasn't. She reminded the girls about what their previous lifestyle did to them. Have you girls forgotten the feeling of maggots coming out from your kwekus? It is God that kept us alive. So don't let us be ungrateful by going back to sin. And more so, Pastor Jerry won't be happy about this. Jenzy did all she could to make the ladies stop being angry, but they ignored her. Favy and Susie changed completely. They used to be a member of the choir, but they stopped going for rehearsals. They stopped doing all the things they used to do before. Gen Z warned them, but they ignored her. They even started planning on renting a house without including Gen Z. Let her continue staying in the church since she doesn't want to agree with us. With the little money they had, they upgraded and rented 2 rooms this time. The girls thought about it and they concluded that they need to be the talk of the town again. People need to respect them just the way they did before. They knew they can't do hookup because it will definitely get them into trouble again. Favy brought up the idea of going to clubs and befriend rich men and ask them what they do for money. The idea sat well with the both of them and they started going to clubs. At first, so many men avoided them because almost everyone recognized them to be the baddies that got used by a man. The rich men avoided them except for one, Don Richie. Richie has heard so much about the ladies and he liked their hustling spirits and so he sent for them. He told them to come visit him the next day. They were very excited. The next day, they went to visit Don Richie. Don Richie told them what he does and told them he would like to help them. I'm a Yahoo boy and I'm proud to say it anywhere and anytime. So I want you girls to be my pickers. The baddies were confused. What is pickers? They asked. Well, it means that anytime my client pays, I'll forward your account details to them and they will pay the money into your account and then I'll give you 10% of the money. The girls were happy. They thanked Richie for giving them another opportunity. And just like that, the ladies started picking money for Richie. And he was paying them well. The once broke girls got back on their feet. They were rich again. They bought the latest iPhone 20 Pro Max. They bought so many luxurious wigs, clothes, and shoes. They were living well again. The people that once mocked them were surprised again to see them back on their feet. They were besties with Don Richie. They avoided Gen Z because she refused to join them again. Gen Z did everything to put them back on the right track, but they didn't listen to her. They even refused to give her their house address. They were enjoying life. One day, the baddies went to Richie's house and they met Richie proposing to his girlfriend with a new Range Rover. The girls were shocked. She's very lucky, Favy said. A new Range Rover, wow! They congratulated Richie and his girlfriend. They celebrated with them and went back home. The baddies were very sad when they got back home. They wanted more. They wanted to be seen beyond just being an baddie. They were tired of being just an baddie. I want to upgrade. I want to be a Range Rover baddie. Let people know that I have upgraded. Or what do you think, Susie? Favy asked. Yes, girl, we need to upgrade though. This 10% that Richie is giving us is too little. We need to tell him to teach us how to fish. He shouldn't give us fish to eat. Let him teach us how to catch fishes. The ladies called Richie and they have a very important discussion to discuss with him. He told them to come meet him and they did. They immediately went to meet him. My boss, Favy said, we are really grateful for everything you've done for us. When everyone avoided us, you welcomed us. Thank you, boss. But we don't want you to feed us anymore. We want you to teach us how to do it, please. Richie was surprised by their level of greediness, but he didn't say much. Baddies, it is a lot of work. Are you sure you'll be able to do it? Richie said. We will do it, they chorused. Richie smiled and brought out his laptop and he started teaching them how to do Yahoo Yahoo. The girls were fast learners and so they learned so fast. However, they didn't cash out a single penny. Even after browsing for so many months, they got tired on the 6th month and they went back to Richie. Richie told them that he has a plug that helps him lock his clients spiritually. They won't think straight. They will pay them immediately. However, he isn't advising them to do it because it is really tough. The baddies ignored Richie's warnings. They wanted to get rich so fast and get a Range Rover. They told Richie that they would do anything. He smiled and took them to his traditionalist. The girls were very brave. They weren't scared when they got there because they were so desperate. The traditionalist told them to sleep inside a closed coffin for 7 days, and they immediately agreed to do so without thinking. On the 7th day, the coffin was opened. The girls checked their phones and they saw that Jenzi has called them 100 times. They thought something serious has happened, and so they called her immediately. And Jenzi asked where they've been to. They lied, saying they were out of the country, that's why they couldn't return her calls. Jenzi told them to come to the church immediately, as she had a very bad dream about them. They shunned Jenzi, saying, "Auntie, nothing will happen to us. We are safe." They ignored all of Jenzi's pleas and hung up. The traditionalists told them to return home and start chatting with their clients, as they will now be paying them well. They were very excited. They got to work and they started cashing out so much. They brought the Range Rover they always wanted. They bought 2 mansions, one for each of them. They went clubbing with Richie and they spent so much money. The people hailed them wherever they went to, calling them the rich iPhone baddies. The girls were so rich, they decided to go back to their village, and they did. Their parents were shocked to see them that rich. This time, they didn't brag. They bought so many iPhones and gave it to the villagers. As they were giving it to them, they were shouting, "If you know they use 3 cameras, do waiting, clear," the villagers responded. The villagers thanked them for everything. They immediately forgot how they lost respect for them. The iPhone baddies returned to the city and they continued flexing from one club to the other until they went broke again. They told Richie about it and he told them that they need to renew their ritual. They went back to meet the old man. He told them that this time they need to use somebody. They were shocked. Someone care. They ran away and went to meet Richie immediately. They told Richie that they can't do such a thing. Richie laughed and told them that he warned them not to do this, but they ignored his warnings. My only advice for you now is to quickly go and do what the man said you should do if you don't want to run mad or pie. The girls were so scared. They didn't want to run mad. They thought of it and they decided to use Jenzi, since she's the only friend that they have. And they also know her parents' name. They gave her information to the man. That night, the man started the ritual. He called upon the spirit of Jenzi. He was reciting some incantations. The iPhone baddies were also present. They saw Jenzi's spirit. They felt guilty, but they had to do it. The traditionalist was about to use a sword on Jenzi's spirit, but a lightning came from above, blinding them all. They couldn't see anything. That was how God saved Jenzi from her ritualist friends. The traditionalists cried, and the iPhone baddies, they ran mad. They became the talk of the town. People shook their head whenever they see them. Richie didn't even bother to help them. He denied knowing them. And this was how the rest of the iPhone baddies, Phoebe and Susie, totally ruined their life because of greediness. The end. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. You guys deserve the best in life. Thank you so much. Please do not forget to like this video. Support us by commenting on this video. Please, what do you feel about this story? Thank you for watching the previous one, and I can see that so many people wanted a part 2, and that's why I did this. I love you guys so much. People are dear to my heart. That's why I went out of my way and I did a part 2 for you guys, just for you guys, because I love you guys so much. So please do not forget to tell me what you feel about this one in the comment section. Can you see what happened to Susie and Phoebe? All because of their greediness, all because of their selfishness. They even wanted to use their innocent friend that knew nothing and did them no wrong. So see where everything got them to. So please guys, do not forget to subscribe to this channel, and please tap on the notification bell so you are going to get to know every time I post a new video and you come support your girl. Thank you so much, my YouTube family. You are so dear to my heart. I love you so much. See you guys on my next story, and as I always say, tell me the kind of stories you want to see in the comment section and I will make it. Thank you, and see you guys on my next story. Bye.